Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we travel back to WrestleMash and pop the boys with this silly big intro. As always, I am Paul, and we are here to talk about all things AEW in the previous week. Christ, lads, we have a new AEW World Champ, just like the old one. I'll tell you something, all the possibilities I think that we had a go at predicting last week. We're way off. We're way off. But I loved it. And I will hear if you guys loved it just in a wee second. But as always, lads and listeners, AEW Mash is one of the many podcast parts which, when formed together, make the mega powers that is the Midweek Mashed Tattie Sportscast. I fucked that there. You can find us on all social media and on all streaming platforms. You want to support the guys? Well, you can if you want. You could buy us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com. It goes towards running the podcast in this world, which things cost a lot more. Well, you could help the guys out. But if you don't want to, that's okay. Just remember and leave us
5 stars, baby! Boom!
Yes, that's exactly what you can do on any of our podcast streaming apps. Leave us a wee 5-star. It lets other people know that you enjoyed us and we're an enjoyable podcast. As always, I am joined here today by my two good friends, Macho Mick, the workhorse himself, and all the way from Grand Cayman, Hulk Harvey, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Brother. So, straight in it, lads. Did we love it? Did we love this match? CM Punk versus Jon Moxley.
I definitely didn't love it, but I definitely didn't hate it.
Fucking hell, that's good praise for. I mean, that's practically a 9 out of 10 for Mick. right out of the bat.
It's like, as far as a match, no great, but I mean, it wasn't long enough to be. But in terms of a story, I'm into it. I'm interested. I want to see what happens next.
You're interested. Harvey, how you feeling?
Wait, just before we go to Harvey, can we just please stick a wee asterisk in your intro?
Right.
We were way off in terms of how the match went, but I was leaning very much towards Moxley winning. So,
I certainly liked the idea of Moxley winning too. I didn't expect it.
You know?
I just didn't think it was possible. But I'm cool with it.
I mean, the prediction, I didn't know which one to choose. I was very indecisive, so I was like, I could go this way, that way. It could be this and that. And then we completely missed what was right in front of your faces.
Apparently it was right in front of your faces. And
Re-injury.
Re-injury. So, for a wee bit of background, lads, for anybody who hasn't perhaps watched this match, CM Punk versus Jon Moxley, this was for the AEW World title. Match placement for me straight away kind of gave away that something might quite not go as you would expect a normal match to go. It was straight in at the start of hour 2 of the AEW Dynamite broadcast. What did we get for this match, lads? We got 2 minutes of grappling. We got a wee bit of playing to the crowd. Punk throws a roundhouse, collapses in agony, holding his planted foot and not the foot he's kicked with. Moxley, like any good wrestler does and any good champion, immediately capitalizes your old 12 to 6 elbows, BCC style, hits 2 Death Riders, no even paradigm shift DDTs, full Japanese New Japan finishers. Hits 2 of them, pins him 1, 2, 3, champion. As you said, it was a very, very quick match, Mick. Barely time to get going. I honestly, I sat there in shock for about 10 minutes. I didn't. The rest of the show was going on, and I was still going, no, wait a minute, I need no more. No, you can't just. I remember I was sitting watching it and talking to myself, saying, you can't leave me like that. you can't do me like that, man. I need no more. So, injury angle, right enough, Harvey. Re-injury. Shoot re-injury, work re-injury. Are we being led on a merry dance here?
100%. That was a lot. 100%. I would like to put this out in the public, right? I've seen quite a few folk on Twitter having a laugh about the heel. We just saw a literal heel turn to Punk, right, because of the spinning kick, right.
He injured
I feel like coming for the combat sports side of things, right, I need to put this out there. He spins and the ball is his foot.
I know his heel.
His heel turns in time and space, but he's not on his heel when he turns. Let's just make that clear.
I'm saying about the semantics there. I'm going to get that just scientifically right. However, I can appreciate that was a literal heel turn in the fall.
I'm curious to see if they go straight to the heel turn or if they let it slow build.
Aye, what do they do there? I mean, does that come straight out next week? I mean, apparently, according to AEW, we are going to hear from Jon Moxley on Dynamite. So we are. That is one of the things booked already.
I mean, judging by the fans' reaction, they could very well go straight to CM Punk heel next week, man.
People are starting to want it, I think, now. I think that's what you saw. Fair play the Cleveland crowd for backing their man as well, by the way. That added to it, that definitely added to it. Like Moxley getting a hero's reception when he wins the shock win, and you see Punk getting led away, carried. It was the look, like the camera was clever here, and this is why I agree with you guys that this is an 100% work towards the storyline. Is that they managed to capture CM Punk looking back. I mean, that's what sells it.
Aye.
They capture him looking back, looking depressed, looking hot, looking personally insulted. The thing he came back for just left him there, man. They just left him. They had their new hero, as it were.
Did you hear the chat that supposedly originally the plan was to just go and have the singles match at the pay-per-view and for Punk to win? But Moxley pushed back in that and he wasn't happy that his interim run would go over like that. So they reworked it, and that's where they came up with the idea to do the match on Dynamite and have Mox win. So that really leads me to believe if that is true, then it's an instant rematch at the pay-per-view and Punk retains the title. Or regains, I should say.
Regains the title, as it were, aye. I don't know. I mean, I'm hands up, lads. I give up predicting. I don't know what they're doing. I'm sitting down in the passenger seat and enjoying the journey to the destination here, lads.
The biggest thing I'm wondering about now is there any possibility of them still going towards a multi-man match? Do they have somebody else come out when Mox is addressing the crowd on Dynamite? Do they have somebody come out like a Hangman Page or whoever to challenge for the title at All Out, and then Punk at some point in time comes back and says, hold on, I'm owed a rematch, and then he sort of wangles his way into the match to make it a 3-man or whatever?
Possibly.
Could, aye.
Possibly.
I would lean towards that, if I'm being honest, purely so as that Mox doesn't get pinned for the belt if Punk is set to regain it again.
Either it's somebody else that gets pinned, aye. I mean, Mox winning, I think, is only fair. Like I'd said that previously about this interim run. He'd done every bit what an actual champion should have done with his interim run. Like good matches, high profile, biggest star, everything you want for your main guy in a company. Like so, having him just step aside the minute CM Punk's returning. It would have been an insult to Jon Moxley as a wrestler and as a star. Like, I think that's the best thing about this feud is the real world knowledge that Moxley is everything that CM Punk professed himself to be as a character in the WWE. Like, he's done it.
Run about the Indies and go to Japan.
Done it his own way. He backs up. He backs up the arse. Like, you know what I mean? He's literally. He's backing up what he's saying. He is
the angle, other than the title, the angle that Punk kind of worked with in WWE, where he wasn't happy, and then he sort of brought that kind of worked shoot angle in, did the pipe bomb, and then he was going to win the belt and leave. Obviously, ultimately ended up re-signing and staying for a wee bit longer. But that heel kind of leaving through the crowd. And like Mox lived that. Like, he wasn't happy in the WWE, so he left and he went and made himself a star elsewhere, but doing it his own way.
Not just that, he made another company a deal.
Yep.
Like, made it worth somebody like CM Punk coming out of retirement. Like, like him, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. Like, they set the table amongst other people for that to even be possible. Like, I've got a lot of love for John Moxley. Like, it's good that he got his respect. Like, but as far as where this goes, and I mean, right, this is right. I will fantasy book just this once, all right, on this because I'm keen for this. For Tony Khan gets the day he wants here, as far as I'm concerned. I have no idea what he's planning today, and I kind of like that right now about this. Next week, Moxley gives an open challenge. MJF comes out of nowhere because it's an open challenge, and then CM Punk says, "Hey, fuck off, my foot's fine," and then you get your 3-man.
Right.
But that's me just fantasy booking away because I would love to see MJF back at the top of the card.
What do you do with that match then?
I know, because then there's the conundrum. Does MJF come back to get pinned? Does Hangman be the one that says, hey, I was champion last, I didn't get my rematch, I would like a rematch respectfully, and then it's Hangman that takes the pit? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know what they do next.
I think you can make that work if you delay the heel turn for Punk, and so you have All Out be a continuation of the heel turn for Punk and a face turn for MJF.
Aye.
So like when he returns to challenge for the open challenge, it's unclear whether or no he is face or heel kind of thing.
Because I don't know how the crowd would react to MJF coming back.
I don't know.
That generic wee tune starts hitting. Would they cheer? They probably would cheer. I genuinely think they would cheer him. Aye.
I think he would get a pop.
Aye. I think he'd be cheered like a returning hero. Considering he told his boss, "You fucking Mark, fire me." Like the last time he was on TV. Like I don't know. It's good to be in this position again as a fan. Like, because I feel like with AEW, for all it's been great fun, you could tell what was coming a lot of the time. You could tell what was coming in good ways and in bad ways. With this, I'm beat as to what comes next. So I've got to say, I love that about it. It's an unusual place to be as a wrestling fan in 2022. To not have a clue where it's going. Long may it continue. I'm an absolute mark for it. Happily be a mark for not knowing what the fuck's going on.
Aye, wrestling's just its best when you can't quite predict it.
Yep, when it shocks you.
That's what you want.
When it totally and utterly takes you by surprise. That's absolutely it. And like I say, the reaction. I mean, I've seen some folk weren't very happy with it. I've seen a lot of folk love it. Like, that's it. I mean, they've made people feel strongly about it. Even the people who maybe don't like it as much, like there was an immediate passionate reaction there. Like, I mean, that's where you want to be as a wrestling booker, bringing that kind of sort of, I don't know, fire in fans, whether they like it or they don't. Like, they care about it. It's no apathy. Like,
that's it. The number one thing for a promoter booking a show is to get the fans reacting, whether they love it or they hate it. Put matches together that gets a reaction, and then it's down to the wrestlers. If you're a heel, you need to get as many of the fans hating you, get that heat on you as you get as much heat as you possibly can. If you're a face, convince the fans that you're the underdog that they need to root for. That is wrestling when you boil it down.
It's brilliant, man.
Aye, right now there's a lot of reactions and there's a lot of guesswork going on. This is probably their most hyped and well built pay-per-view in probably a year.
So it's looking good. All Out, it definitely is. All Out 2022. It's looking very good. And to say that we still don't know the actual confirmed headline match yet, like a week, less than a week now, to the actual show, like, fair play, man. It's a very important pay-per-view though. Again, I think WWE are absolutely flying as far as kind of fan perception goes. Like, it's probably no bell to bell as good a show as AEW Dynamite still, but it's exciting again. And people can't wait to tune back into it now because Triple H is running it and it's effectively being seen as it's getting the same love that NXT got. Like before pre-AEW NXT, it's getting that kind of level of love now. So
it'd be really interesting.
They're under pressure.
It'll be really interesting going forward with WWE to see if they start to have a shift with the fans, because there's going to be a lot of fans that if it leans too heavily into the old school NXT style, black and gold NXT, if it leans too heavy into that, there's a lot of fans that will not love it. Even if they secretly inside they enjoy it, they'll still want to think back to days of old. The land of the giants, as it were, in WWE.
Oh, aye, definitely, mate, definitely.
So I think they might push some fans away, but the question is, will they make more new fans than those that they lose?
Aye, very true, mate, very true. It's again, wrestling over the past 4 years with the addition of AEW has become a lot more fun. Who would have thought we'd have been at a stage where WWE starting to get fun again all of a sudden? So it's all happening because the other thing's happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we did actually say that it could. If you remember, way back when we first started, we said if and when
Vince McMahon buggered
off, it would get better, and then
how right we were, but like we could not have predicted.
I've not
the circumstances of that. My God,
exactly. Aye. I mean, it should be good. Good for wrestling as a whole, pro wrestling as a whole. It forces, if they get better, which it looks like they are, and start putting good, meaningful shows on again, then it forces AEW to get better, and it forces, it doesn't really force everybody else to get better because they're not on the same level. But I mean, AEW for sure has to get better.
Oh, they have to keep the standard up. It's important, especially right now where they're not the cool thing anymore. All of a sudden, like currently, WWE becomes the cool thing right now with all this kind of excitement. Yeah, and AEW have had that sort of cool factor for a good couple of years now.
AEW had a bit of leeway in their production and in their booking because WWE kept shooting themselves in the foot.
Aye, absolutely.
So there's shit in AEW that can't be forgiven now. You can't overlook it. They need to tighten up their product.
Absolutely. There's pressure now, which I think that's good though. I think that's the way it should be. There should be pressure on both sides to be the best. And it brings out the best in all. So it is. I love how we've got dead deep into the whole wrestling business all of a sudden at CM Punk. I love it, man. Just to swing us back into AEW centric territory, you want me to go through the All Out card as it stands before Wednesday night's episode? So currently we have the tournament final for the AEW Trios Championships. And as we've seen with the Trios tournament matches, that's going to be a fun division, and thank God for it. Like, it's been a success, I would say, I would argue.
Yep.
We also have the Just Because match, Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and, would you believe it, the Motor Machete. Can I say it right? The Motor Machete. Fuck that. The Motor City Machine Guns. There you go. Fuck that royally. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, for fuck's sake. Round of applause. Woo! Woo! So, I mean, random, great.
Random, but it'll be a great match.
Oh, going to love the Motor City Machine Guns. Say it right! We now also have a four-way with the women's title, an interim women's world championship. Tony Storm, Dr. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. Out of nowhere, like a Randy Orton RKO, just jumping straight back in the title picture.
Aye. Not sure about that one, but
Tony Storm to pin Jamie Hayter, by the way, here first.
Right, okay, cool. We'll come back to you in that.
Aye.
I wouldn't be surprised, by the way.
No.
We also have a casino ladder match. That's a male casino ladder match. Should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the custody of Danny Garcia match. Brian Danielson and Chris Jericho. We have the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaimed. We have Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage. We have Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. And we have Jade Cargill versus Athena for the TBS Championship. So, cards filling up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Probably only 1 or 2 more matches to add there.
What's this casino? The table.
Ladder
Casino
match.
the table? Aye. It's not on a table.
Oh my god! I was thinking
There
of
may
table
be a
ladder
table.
chairs.
Probably won't be tables they'll have there, aye.
But,
Sorry, I can't say the Motor City Machine Gun. So it's all good.
Oh, the casino
So,
ladder. Who's
Casino ladder match. Let's get
Who's
the
it?
old
Is
TBD
any-
so far.
no participants announced yet.
All right.
No participants as of yet, so no sure where it's going. But as we know, with
Wonder
these
what they'll
ladder
do with
matches, they usually do no bad.
Aye.
I wonder if they make that whoever wins is number 1 contender for TNT title or something.
Possibly, aye. Possibly.
Because there's not much happening there.
Well, I mean, that says everything in Wardlow's chucked into a match with FTR. Like,
Well,
kind of says it all, doesn't it? Like,
It's a shame.
both of them.
that.
just run.
Like, I mean, it'll be a fun match, but like everybody in that match could be doing something bigger and better with the right booking, but it's just not been there the last. I mean, to be fair, there's been a lot going on top of the card and the return of Omega, so
I feel like
Tony
it's been
Khan
kind of sidelined a wee
putting
tad because of that.
everything in the
And
show. So I
Aye.
get it, but it sucks.
I mean, it'll be fun in ring. I mean, if Dax Harwood and versus Jay Lethal is anything to go by, I mean, just to kind of point to that quickly as an in-ring match on Dynamite, by the way, holy sweet Jesus. I could have watched the boys wrestle an hour.
I feel like it got a wee bit lost in the shuffle just with everything.
Oh,
else
as
that's happening,
far
which
as
is a shame.
aye, agreed. As far as profile goes, it's not a big profile moment, but as a match, it was just outstanding. I don't know how they mic'd up the ring this week, or whether that literally just is how hard Dax Harwood chops. Because that was like gunshots, man. Holy fuck! Oh, he was putting some stank in that, wasn't he, man? Holy Jesus!
Aye.
Yeah.
Poor Jay Lethal, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was phenomenal. So, the other big thing, though, lads, I would love to talk about, though, the main event is an in-ring spectacle here, boys. Will you see anything
Oh my god.
as similar to an Avengers Infinity War moment as this in your life? Because that gave me Infinity War, Captain America, bloody Civil War vibes, man. We just bodies everywhere, flipping and flying everywhere. Like, the only thing that was missing was one of them growing 20 foot tall, man. Honestly, and stomping through the ring. Oh no. It was ridiculous, man.
Just
it
wild.
was brilliant. Will Ospreay, Ray Phoenix.
I think it would be very fair to say that Will Ospreay and Ray Phoenix are superhuman.
They don't call him the Billy Goat for nothing, man.
The two of them were brilliant for that the wee segment that they did together.
The opening to that match is up there with the
Jeez.
opening to any match ever.
Like, what the hell? It was brilliant.
That was unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
I'd give it an A plus.
And Harvey's scoring is back this week. It's returns. The Harvey Smith score.
Yes.
And a quite rightful high award there for it.
Oh man.
Pac is with that top rope brain buster.
That was brilliant.
Sweet. I thought he'd killed him.
Aye, that was the balls to attempt that move, man. Dear God. For both guys.
Oh,
Like
aye,
for Pac,
aye.
you're risking being known as the guy that killed Will Ospreay for doing that move. You know what I mean?
got a man in his back, got a
And
body
Ospreay is
count.
putting, as much as Ospreay needs to control his body in the way he's doing, like he's putting so much faith in Pac. What a move, man!
It's
Oh,
aye.
it's incredible.
The
insane.
spot where Ray Phoenix going for the fucking Hurricane Rana for the top rope, and Ospreay front flips out it.
Just
Aye,
lands and
aye.
walks out it.
Jesus, man.
Aye. That was one of the holy shit moments. Like, do you know what I mean?
I was watching the setup of that thinking Ospreay's going to do one of these things here where like he lands on his feet and just looks too cool. But then when I saw it, I was still like, how?
Mm-hmm.
Just how?
It was badass, man. It really was badass.
Nothing against them two, Ozzy Osbourne, but imagine if Will Ospreay was with two lads that could do half of what he could do. How amazing would that be?
Well, I mean, it'd be cool, but I don't know. There's very few people that can do anything near what he can do, man.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like half. Like
I've got to say though, see, looking forward to next week, having Ospreay in the same ring as the Bucks and Omega. Like the Aussie Open, they'll do their pair, they'll be great. But having Ospreay in the same ring as the Bucks and Omega is going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's dream stuff. So it is. It's wrestling dream material.
Yeah.
It really is. Nah, that's your main event, surely. Innit? Just in your pants stuff. You're going to do a big happy sex week of that, aren't you, Harvey? I mean, what a 7 day. I mean, the 7 days, though, that Ospreay had, man. I mean, did you see? I sent you guys that. It was well, Ospreay put it up in his Insta story, like 7 days, Ospreay. August 17th, Tetsuya Naito, 4.75 stars. August 18th, Kazuchika Okada, 5.75. 20th of August, Mike Bailey, 4.75. August 21st, RKJ, 5 stars. August 24th, Death Triangle, 5 stars. Like, I mean, fuck, duck.
I mean, but that's. I think he put that up because what Omega. After the match, right? So AEW does the exclusive. They do the exclusive stuff for anybody who doesn't know. So obviously, some things that you don't see during Dynamite and Rampage, they'll often put these exclusive stuff out on
like after the show.
Their YouTube.
They keep going and entertain the fans a bit.
Yep.
So you would have only seen this if you were in the crowd. And Omega was harping on. You should definitely go and watch it if you haven't. I know you two guys have.
Oh, we die. Absolutely, we have. Aye.
So Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks come out, and Kenny Omega just sits and destroys Will Ospreay.
Oh, he just didn't he? Absolutely kills him.
But if you go into the AEW YouTube channel, you'll be able to see it. They just type in Kenny Omega faces Will Ospreay, and it will come up, and you see it. It's like about 5 or so minutes. It was brilliant. Brilliant to see. What was he saying? Like, because obviously Will Ospreay was saying, I've had 5, how many 5-star matches, and Omega's like, I don't care what one person thinks, like this and that, and nobody remembers them. They only remembered me with who was it?
Okada, aye.
Like, oh, it's brilliant. Go and watch it.
Ospreay's saying, well, he's just by having it was a 4.75, but really 5-star match with Okada.
5-star match with Okada.
Aye.
And then Omega chiming in with like, I beat Okada. Did you?
Aye, that's right.
Like his match with Okada's regarded as the best ever. Like the one where he beat him. It's a lot of people regard that as the best ever match. And Ospreay's like, it's the feud that's been brewing between them is it's awesome, man. It's such a dream match. And their careers have like paralleled in an interesting way. Like they've had one match together in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and it was like 2012, 2013. So like Omega was in his way to Japan by that point. to go in and have the time that he had over there, winning everything basically. And Ospreay was still like, he was getting his start. And I've not been able to watch the match yet. I need to see if I can find a copy of that. But I have seen some clips of it and stuff, and it looks like it was a fun match. But the way they've grown for there, and Omega goes on and he does everything in New Japan. He goes on to have so many 5-star matches, to have the phenomenal feud with Okada, to have all the different layered stuff with the Elite and with Bullet Club, to win the G1 and finally get his victory over Okada and all that, get the title and all the rest of it. Like just epic. And then in the last few years with Omega been away in AEW and then subsequently out for nearly a year injured, Ospreay has been in just a next level insane run, just like 5-star match after 5-star match.
Oh, he has been, aye.
He now has more 5-star matches. Again, I mean, it is one person's opinion, right? But more 5-star matches than Omega now. And the only person to have the most 5-star matches outside of a Japanese talent. That I don't know if that's the best way to say that, but he's the best non-Japanese talent. No, damn it, he has more 5-star matches than any other non-Japanese talent. There we go. That was and he's done everything apart from his 2 final things: beat Okada and win the IWGP title. That's all that's left.
He's won the IWGP title before. Remember, he did win it against Ibushi, but he had to drop it shortly after due to injury.
That's right. So,
wasn't he given a chance to hold it?
He needs to win the G1 and beat Okada, and if he was able to retain regain the title in doing so, actually that and get a victory over Switchblade as well. That would be on his list, I suppose.
Yeah.
But he's so close. Stage, he's so close to getting past everything that Omega did. But Omega just hits in with it, like every time it's brought up, like he hits in with like, well, does anybody remember any of your matches?
That was when he had that prologue. Can anybody tell me a Will Ospreay 5-star match, please? and then he ends the whole dressing down with, hey, listen, no heat by the way, like I've no problem with you. No, that's kind of thing. Like, ends it with that passive aggressive sort of niceness, like as if he's being the bigger person. Just epic. Looking forward to it. Like I say, if they two guys just tell their respective other 2 members to sit down and watch at ringside and let the 2 boys sort it out, perfect.
I hope at the start of the match the 2 of them tell the other ones to back off and then they start a match together.
Get off the apron, this is ours. We're doing this. That would be awesome.
Yep.
And then it's who breaks first and needing a tag. Like who's the first one to shout out.
And I can see it playing out in my head as well, I've got to say. Like I feel like Ospreay's gonna get the better of him initially. Omega's gonna feint the injury. He's still not 100% fit.
Yep.
And he's gonna have to reach to the Bucks to step in and help him.
It's going to be about the Bucks carrying him, I think, in the end, isn't it?
Aye. I think ultimately Omega probably gets the pinfall victory, but not necessarily against Ospreay. It'll be the smaller Aussie Open guy, can't remember his name.
Oh, Kyle Fletcher.
Aye, I suspect that's how
Kyle
it'll
Fletcher.
go. But no matter what way it plays out, I can't wait for that match.
Oh, it's got classic written all over it, man. It really does.
I just so hope that this leads us into like a full-on feud with Omega and Ospreay. I need a singles match.
Cross promotion. Aye, give me it. Give me it, man. Tokyo Dome in January. Wrestle Kingdom. 4 months.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
There's time Kenny Omega to New Japan.
There was definitely
surely, mate. Return match of Forbidden Door. There you go. I'm fantasy booking after all.
I'm done with predicting. Apart from this and this.
Well, apart from this and this. That's more what I would like. Know what I expect. Know what I think's happening. That's me just. Please. Oh Christ! See, just to jump out into the side. Have you seen the new AEW game? By the way, Fight Forever. The footage of it, like the in-game footage. WWE No Mercy N64. WrestleMania 2000
was it
N64.
THQ used to make all them games?
THQ,
Is that
man.
right?
And it is a THQ game, this.
Is it?
It's THQ.
As well,
It's
yeah.
THQ.
THQ Nordic and Ukes, the original team that did the WWE games.
Right. Oh, there you go. That's
Yep.
why then.
That was
Aye,
a
it
big
looks-
thing for
It's
Kenny Omega to
it's
seek
got
out.
such a nostalgic feel and it looks awesome.
It does, doesn't it? I love the way it looks and kind of the way it moves. It looks like it plays just like those No Mercy games, which are
Yep.
the best fun as far as wrestling computer games go. Like it is in no way a simulator like a wrestling sim the way that the WWE 2K games are in years gone past. I believe the new WWE 2K22 is a lot more sort of fun to play as opposed to a sim. Like, but this looks like so much fun, man. Obviously it's Omega and Adam Cole that are in the kind of the sort of thing they've put out for press, like the kind of playthrough of the game. Looks awesome, man. Hell of a lot
Incidentally,
of
I wonder if that is a wee bit of a teaser for what might be to come. Because obviously there's going to be an Elite versus Undisputed Elite angle.
fun, man. It just so happens that's the match they put out, innit? There's no accidents.
I want to say they had Adam Cole winning.
I think they
In the
did,
demo?
aye. I think they did, mate. I think he won in the demo.
Huh?
I've currently got it on my telly behind the recording right now, so I have just to keep it fresh in my mind. But it looks a lot of fun, man. It's no super hyper real, but looks great, man. Looks like a fun.
That's the thing. It doesn't need to be, man. It just needs to look good to a point, and it's all about the gameplay for the.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely, it doesn't need to be FIFA like super realistic. It just needs to be enjoyable. Fair play to them. Good stuff I'm seeing so far. So hopefully the game's good. Oh, back to the real wrestling though, and you know what, lads? I'm actually this week we're going to spend length talking about this women's division.
Oh, are we going to do
What
it?
do you think? What do you guys think of the rumours about Thunder Rosa, by the way? Obviously, we're a teary Thunder Rosa with Tony Schiavone announcing that she was injured. And first relinquishing her title at first, but then somewhat not relinquishing her title. So she did and then she didn't. So a new interim champion, as we'd previously mentioned, will be crowned at All Out between Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, Tony Storm, part of Thunderstorm. Oh, I suppose you'll just have to go against me. No anymore. And the out of nowhere Hikaru Shida, who, I mean, whatever. Aye, she's there. What do we think about this? Because, I mean, this week, as far as wrestling news goes, AEW has felt like WWE of old, where it has been, this person's got enemies in the locker room, this person's not getting on great, this person's this person's that. It's been a bit mad, and especially with Thunder Rosa, who it was rumoured after breaking Jamie Hayter's nose in that title match, hid in a bathroom stall from her.
Jesus.
Truthfully, I don't think I go in for that. Thunder Rosa's a girl who's previously done MMA. I can imagine she can handle herself.
Hayter's fucking massive compared to her.
Jamie Hayter is a big, strong lass, to be fair,
I
yes.
don't doubt that if Hayter can get her hands on her, she would ragdoll her.
She probably handle herself well.
I've not seen enough Thunder Rosa training footage or MMA footage to think that
Aye.
like she could
She's very
legit
good at it.
do anything. So, I'd say it's probably a wee bit hyperbole going on there. It's probably a wee bit overblown, but I don't doubt that she was staying out a road.
keep him safely back from her, aye. Because obviously there was that match where she busted her nose open, broke her nose, man.
Yeah.
But
And that's after
long-term heat, man.
that's after some issues with was it Yamashita? What's the Japanese lassie?
Well, I mean, we don't know if there was issues there, but
I mean, in terms of the original match in Japan, great match in AEW, shite.
Aye.
And
There definitely seems to be an impression that she is a bit big time and doesn't believe that she should be selling for certain wrestlers in AEW as
Well,
much.
she can get to fuck then.
Fucking hell. Right out there.
I mean, it's part and parcel of the game. Like, you have to, like, I mean, come on.
I mean, it depends on what wrestling source you're listening to. She has a lot of love with wrestling fans in certain places, and there's certainly a growing audience of people who really aren't that keen on her as much now. Like, she seems to have burned out a wee welcome. There was even suggestions that this injury wasn't in fact an injury. Apparently, it's a disc issue in her spine that's causing her to stay out.
That sounds like something that should be relinquishing the title, not going to an interim.
Aye, well,
you can't. There's no predicting how long it takes to come back for something like that.
No, definitely not. Like it's. That's
interesting.
It's
I've got to say, I'm somebody that, like, I was very big in her when she was a challenger. I thought she was a phenomenal talent and needed a lot more love and a lot more in ring time. And since she became champion, I've became not a hater, but I've certainly not a fan anymore.
Well, you've definitely cooled on her, Mick. I mean, if you listen to the last how many other podcasts, you've cooled somewhat spectacularly in Old Rosa.
Our title reign has been woeful. Some of that's the TV time allocation and the booking, but it's also like her seemingly sandbagging matches and stuff, like just no putting in the work that she put in on the come up sort of thing.
It's been so weird. It's been so disappointing from a fan's point of view, certainly. I was a massive fan of her.
Do you know the big turning point for me? Sorry, Harvey. The big turning point for me was when she came out and cut that horribly heelish promo against Deeb, where she basically blamed her for being, what's the phrase? A victim. She was like a victim of what's the thing?
Sexual harassment, all that kind of thing.
But there was an element of harassment, but it was like the bigotry or the
that too, like
they basically brainwashed her into going and get a boob job and shit like that. Like,
it's your fault, victim blaming, basically.
She was like victim blaming, aye.
That
was weird. For like
that specifically
after that, I was like, nah, that's that. Because I even actually I tweeted to, which maybe that was a bit immature, but I actually tweeted at Thunder Rosa. I didn't get a response, but I tweeted at AEW and Thunder Rosa saying, "What were you thinking? Why did you say that?
Aye,
like what you're supposed to be the voice of women's wrestling. What are you doing?"
It was in very poor taste. Totally and utterly banging that though. You called that spot on. It really was such a shite lead into what should have been a good match. Like, I don't think the women's division will miss her for a wee while. I think she needs a wee bit of cooling off, and maybe the injury is just a bit of lucky time in there. It really is. I think
she's got
definitely needed.
Too big for her boots.
Would seem so.
But apparently long-term issues with her and Britt Baker as far as working together. Apparently they're still professional enough that they will work with one another, but there is a definite dislike, a true dislike.
There's a certain amount of sort of genuineness that comes out in the promos between them. So I can quite believe that. Britt Baker likes to go to the sandbag chat quite a bit.
Britt's absolutely killed her a few times with these backstage promos. The sandbag par and then ripping the hole out of the whole thunderstorm. We've got to face one another thing. Like, absolutely brilliant. It's the women's division definitely hasn't been the same since she dropped the belt, which is kind of sad, really. Surely there's going to be a.
It's a shame, man. It should have been the moment where the division took a step up. You know, like where you had this talent that was been underutilised, like Thunder Rosa, like Serena Deeb, like so many others, and it just never happened for whatever reason. I mean, the roster might have some ideas, but only Tony Khan can really answer why they've not been used properly and booked properly. But at the same time, as a wrestler, especially a female wrestler, where there's this sort of historic like mistreatment of the women in the industry. You can't sit around and just hope that it gets better. Like, you need to be, and it's all well and good me saying this, but you need to be putting the work in and taking the chance. You need to reach out and grab the brass ring. Don't wait for somebody to give it to you, to paraphrase something that wrestlers have said in the past. So I think that when Britt dropped the title, that was the chance for Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb and everybody else to really step up their game and make the most of every match they were in, and be active in social media and everywhere else. Make the fans like fight their case as well. You know what I mean? And it's just no, for one reason or another, it's just no played out.
I wasn't quite happy, mate. Sadly. Oh, jeez. Oh, right. Well, hey, just to quickly kind of add before we go here, matches coming up. We have the tag match, Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter coming up. Obviously, as a wee kind of precursor to what is now the women's title match. We've got Bryan Danielson versus Jake Hager. Low key, I'm kind of looking forward to this, by the way. I think this will actually be not that bad a match. And we've obviously got the United Empire versus the Elite. We also hear from the world champion. Going to be a cracker, lads, I hope. Any thoughts before we go?
No, not really.
I'm just...
Take a big breath, you built up. No.
I'm still on the women's side. I hope that somehow, by hook or by crook, the 4 women at the pay-per-view can have a belter of a match and it can lead to something better. Unfortunately, in my mind, I think Toni Storm's winning that, and I think that although she is very good, she's very, very good in ring, I don't think she's the person to really take that division forward.
Probably not, no.
Unfortunately.
I would actually like a shock. I think it would be cool if it was Jamie Hayter.
I would love that, by the way.
There's a bit of story there as well, with her being under Britt's shadow.
Aye, you've got to implode her and Britt Baker for that to happen. Not necessarily instantly, you could have it be a bit of a build, but you could have Jamie Hayter be Britt Baker on telly being jealous, pretending she's alright with it, but being jealous and eventually turning on her.
Having to be second to Jamie Hayter after Jamie being her second for so long. Like, if there's anybody who can make it work, it's Britt Baker, by the way, as far as the women's division goes. So, are they brave enough to do that? Probably not. I think Toni Storm's the one that's come in with kind of the buzz of being a WWE star that should have worked with a good history working in Japan and so on and so forth. So she probably will win, but you know what? Why not be brave? Why not actually flip it all the way around now? Like, Thunder Rosa is injured. That very boring story is now something they kind of go to. Why not write a new story, which is a lot more fun? Why not take a chance?
Aye.
Yep.
Absolutely. Tag match is the place to start the kind of the hint that Jamie's no being second to Britt Baker.
If we wanted to do a quick bit of fantasy booking, have Britt Baker.
It's all we do, mate.
Get the title. Have Britt Baker get the title back, but have her pin Hayter. Have her be an opportunist and pin Hayter. And then let that story build for there, and then Hayter's obviously then the person to turn face and take the belt off of Baker down the line.
Yes, even that. Feel like the time's right for something to happen between those two. Like, it's been a long-term weekend of faction, Rebel, Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. Why not have a wee bit of friction in there? That's what I see. A wee bit of friction, boys. Oh, Jesus. Well, as always, lads, we are followed on by Harvey leading a podcast. Tomorrow, that will be the return of Moto Mash, the return of the F1 season, obviously. The previous weekend there in Spa. We also have try that again. We also have fucking unreal today, boys. We also have, I'm leaving all this in, MMA Mash with one championship on Prime. We're going to look at that. Obviously, the first kind of event to kind of entice in the American audience, kind of guys and gals and all that sort of thing. So, plenty to chew on there, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day. Hope it's all going well in your lives wherever you are. And just remember, as Harvey would tell you, don't eat your listening on. It's not Ciao.
Bye bye. Bye bye.